Buttons up.
Buttons up.
And the nozzle up.
Flash coming up.
First flash.
Flash up. Second flash coming up.
Second flash. Now the buttons go on the flash or before. Did I miss?
Hello, I'm David Hurd, instructor for the Public Service Pathways for Sherman Indian High School. The following that you're going to see is a series of fictitious crimes for the purpose of training my students enrolled in the Public Service Pathway. During the first semester, our students are taught with a curriculum that's designed and formatted to teach the students fundamentals of law enforcement, laws primarily affecting a police officer in the state of California, and is guided by the Constitution and the amendments. That includes such as what is a crime. Crime is either classified as a criminal or civil action. Furthermore, they are taught that the police investigate criminal crimes, not civil crimes. They learn the level of crimes such as felonies, misdemeanors, infractions. They learn that for our purpose, crimes involved are two types: crimes against persons and crimes against property. The second semester, which is what we're in today, we actually extend the classroom into public locations where they're introduced to activities that cause them to have to demonstrate what they've learned in the classroom. There will be crime scenes, there will be evidence at some level, witnesses and suspects. If the evidence or facts are identified, students may even have to write a search warrant, obtain an arrest warrant, comply with all the laws of search and seizure, and pursue further investigations. I am presenting 4 scenarios that will be investigated by 4 different classes. Each student will have an investigation assignment anywhere from taking pictures, identifying fingerprints, interviewing witnesses or suspects, recovering evidence, and so on. Expectations and outcomes. My expectations are that some of all the crime scenarios will be solved through investigation or an arrest. Furthermore, the cases will be forward to a mock trial court set up to adjudicate the cases. And yes, we have all the court assignments being role played by students as well. Okay? In summary, every act of participation we do in our program is student driven. It is prioritized motivating students to activate their minds, and maybe we'll find 1 or so students that become inspired enough to go into public service. In closing, items that may be stolen or removed from the campus, our intent is, of course, to return everything to its original location as if nothing ever happened. I would also like to note that this program only is here at Sherman because of the kindness and generosity of the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, who have gifted grants to Sherman to aid us in offering occupational opportunities to our students. Thank you for listening.
It was reported that the picture was stolen sometime between 8 o'clock and 8:25.
Now, before anything else, remember you're in a crime scene, so don't be touching anything, okay? Because you don't know what has been touched or disturbed. But now you can ask, where was it and what's it look like?
Where was it and what is it?
There was a picture hanging on the wall off this neck. It's got a black frame, and the major part of the picture, what I remember, is black and white. said, it was there in the morning. 25, it was missing.
Does it go with one of those?
I would say, in my opinion, the frame is the same, but the picture's different.
And the last witness, the last one, there was a guy who was wearing a big jacket. It was a blue and yellow big winter jacket, and he walked in with it on. He was in here for about 2 minutes, and when he walked out, he didn't have his jacket on. He was holding it, walking out.
Okay. These investigations are just, you go from A, B, C, and D, all the way down the line, okay? It's a puzzle. You're just putting a puzzle together, okay? So you have potential suspects, 4 witnesses off that list, okay? You have an independent witness over there who's giving information to your other officers, and we need to try to put that together. One of the other things too, you can ask either one of these gentlemen, did they witness anything? Now, they're the reporting party, but you can ask them if they witnessed anything suspicious going out the door.
Does anybody want to ask a question? Did you witness anything suspicious?
No, I did not. I was called in when the picture was noted to be missing. So I did not see any of these students other than the last young lady on here, Miss Dale, when she was sitting in the library. I believe one of the other officers was interviewing her.
Close. Nice word. Can you tell us anything about these students?
In regards to the crime, no. Other than they are students here at this campus, and I would not, no name stands out to me as
Do you know any of these students personally?
I know all of these students personally. Except for this one that I can't make out the spelling of his name, or hers. However, their first period teacher is Miss Townsend.
Who reported the crime to you?
Mr. Miller, the librarian.
Where's he at now?
Good question. I believe he's covering a class.
Is it worth it a lot?
I have no idea what its monetary value is. However, it may be extremely valuable to somebody, one of the staff members, or to the student body. It was obviously something that belonged to the school.
One other question to keep in mind, okay? Just say, if it was a third piece to this set, is there happened to be an artist's name in here? And so if that picture is part of this set,
It would also have.
would we know the name of the person who did the artwork?
Good.
Okay? So if one of you want to come look, I don't know if there's any signatures, notations, whatever, but you may want to come over here and find out, because if they're on here, that means there's a value to the school on the artwork.
Everyone appeared in the case of the People versus Antoine Charles and A.J. Brooklyn. Yes. You want to say it again? Oh, please stand. our country, remembering the principles of which it stands. Department 6 of the Court of the County of Riverside, the State of California, and the Honorable Tamara Gordon, Judge presiding, is now in session. Please be seated and come to order.
Do you solemnly swear that you will truly try the issues now to be given to you, that you speak nothing to anyone of the business or matters you have in hand, nor will you let anyone speak to you about the same in court? And when you are here, when you are agreed upon any verdict, you will keep your secret until you deliver upon court?
Yes.
Heard, the flag's on the wrong side. We're prepared to make an opening statement. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We, the prosecution, stand before you today representing the people of the state in a criminal matter having been filed against the defendants Antoine Childs and A.J. Bookman. We intend to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendants are guilty of stealing native art and artifacts from the Sherman Indian High School Museum. In filing these charges, we are prepared to prove: 1, there was an intent to steal property merely by their actions. 2, evidence was recovered at the crime scene specifically identify the defendants. And 3, the defendants under Miranda made statements of their involvement in the thefts. In presenting the facts of the case to you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it may first appear to be difficult and puzzling without a clear solution. But I assure you, when all the evidence and facts are heard, you will find the defendants guilty of the charges. Thank you. Defense, are you ready to make your opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we, the defense, stand before you today representing the defendants in this criminal matter that have been filed against the defendants, Mr. Antoine Childs and Mr. A.J. Bookman. We intend to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendants are non-guilty of stealing native art and artifacts from the Sherman Indian High School. With the filings of these charges, we are prepared to show there was no intent to steal property merely by their actions. Evidence was recovered at the crime scene, specifically identified the defendants there, but not necessarily committing a crime of theft. The defendants under Miranda made statements of their involvement in an activity, but not a criminal activity. In presenting the facts of the case to you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it may first appear to be difficult and puzzling without a clear solution. But I assure you, when all the evidence and facts are heard, you will find the defendants non-guilty of the charges. Thank you very much.
Paul, I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay? Were you an investigating officer to theft of the art or picture from the library that
Yes.
day? Did you conduct an interview with the defendant, Antoine Childs, after his arrest?
Yes.
Did you read him his Miranda rights before the interview?
Yes.
Did he waive his rights?
Yes.
Will you please tell the court what did the defendant tell you?
He stated that he was sent a plain envelope with his name on it to his classroom. He opened it. It had a note attached telling him if he would just move the picture from the library counter to the conference room, he could have the $150 in the envelope. So he did.
Does he know who sent the envelope and so on?
No.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I can assure you that Mr. Antoine is innocent, considering the fact he just picked up the item and simply put it in the safe room. And he didn't take the item. You didn't see him walk out with it. He
was just simply walking in. He got the picture. What would you do if you saw a picture that was on the ground or on the table that belonged on the wall? Well, if there's no tag to it or so, you take the picture and put it up somewhere safe.
Your Honor, I object. Considering that there was proof of vandalism in the video. So you can say he needs to be charged or not. The point is, he vandalized. Don't you think that's...
He vandalized?
He vandalized.
How did he vandalize?
He vandalized the fact that he intended to commit a crime.
How did he intend to commit a crime?
He took something of his off,
Did
something
he
not
walk
of
out
his
with
off
it?
the wall.
Hold on, did he walk out with it?
No, but
Did
the
he
fact
walk
that
out
he
with
took
it?
something off the wall that wasn't even his.
Order in the
court!
Did he walk out with it? Ask the question. Then how did he? Okay.
You can't count graffiti as vandalism. Okay? I mean, you can, but there's other many forms of
Did
vandalism.
you see him go in there?
The fact that I did see him walking
Did you see him go
out.
in there with spray paint spraying this wall?
No, but that's what you're thinking. That's what you're
No,
thinking,
that's not what I'm
right?
thinking.
Okay. The fact is, he took something that wasn't his. It's still vandalizing.
Order in the court.
Order in the court.
Okay.